two players, player A and player B. They play the same position. Let's take a look at player A. Slash line last season of 262, 336, 433, 14 homers, 46 RBI, and a WAR of 2. He played 111 games.
Is this B WAR or F WAR stuck?
This is a B WAR.
Oh, no.
Don't tell Corey and Brendan.
Corey and Brendan will be really, really upset with you right now.
Okay, that's player A. Now we're going to see very similar numbers, but slightly better for player B. A slash line of 266, 351, slightly lower at 413. 15 homers, so one more homer. 50 RBI, just a handful of RBI more. 2.2 WAR, almost the same thing. And player B played 8 more games last season. They play the same position, okay? In fact, they both play right field. Who's player A? Who's player B?
Why?
So is one player a Cubs player and another outfielder?
That is correct.
Okay.
Well, can we put player A back up real quick?
Player A.
So we got that looks. I remember. I mean, Seiya played 111 games last year. I know that off the top of my head. I would say that's Seiya.
Player A is Seiya Suzuki.
Okay. Yeah, I remember the number 111. Just for whatever reason, off the top of my head, I remember the number.
Ryan lives on Baseball Reference.
Who is player B, though? Who is the right fielder that has almost the same slash line, 1 more home run, 4 more RBI, almost an identical WAR, and played 8 more games? Their seasons are almost mirror image of each other.
And it was an active player last year.
An active player, yeah.
National League or American League?
National League, played 119 games. This player also had obviously some sort of injury or was called up or...
Yeah, I only played 119, so...
I'm trying to think of right fielder. Wasn't Carlson, was it?
No.
Okay.
This player is easily considered a top 5 right fielder.
Oh, wow. Okay. Let's see.
It's not Mookie Betts. There's no way that's Mookie
No, it's not Mookie Betts.
It's not Mookie Betts. Mookie Betts had a very, very good year.
I'll give it. It's Ronald Acuna.
Really?
Well, he was hurt. He didn't start the year.
Hurt a lot,
coming off an ACL injury.
Similar numbers, yeah. Wow.
So I went through a list of people trying to evaluate nationally right fielders this year. And everybody wants to rank 1 through 10. You almost don't ever find Seiya Suzuki in that list, okay?
Right.
I saw one from Odyssey that put him at 10, and I thought, well, it's a Chicago connection. That's why they're putting him at 10. Ronald Acuna is always in the top 5.
Yeah.
And I understand that he has had the success. And if I could pull an even trade for Ronald Acuna for Seiya Suzuki, understand. I would make that trade before you could even let the ink dry. However, Seiya was also trying to learn in a completely different league in a completely different country, okay?
Yeah.
And they both had injuries. Seiya had the finger injury. So their seasons were limited. They both were dealing with injury. And one guy's trying to get used to a completely different league. Now, everybody thinks Ronald Acuna is going to have an absolute breakout season, bounce back to the guy he was, one of the top players in the league, spark plug for the Braves. I think a lot of people believe Seiya will have a better season in Chicago, but I don't hear anybody ever comparing him to Ronald Acuna. Last year, they were almost the same player.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't have, with seeing player B, definitely would not have thought that was Ronald Acuna.
I was shocked.
I mean, knowing that he missed a lot of the season because of the ACL and
I thought he played center field too. I didn't realize he played.
My
bad.
That makes me. Ronald Acuna, great player, should have a better season. But then when you bring up Seiya, and it's like he put up those numbers similar to what Acuna did. Not exactly the same situation, but where he dealt with his own injuries on top of all the other stuff he had to deal with coming to America and learning MLB. He had a good season. It was his rookie season technically. I do think Seiya could have a better season than what he put together. May not be an all-star season or what people would see as an all-star season, but if he's giving you if he's giving you better numbers than that, if he's giving you 20-something homers, right? You'll take that for a guy, again, would only be in his second season of what is not a completely different brand of baseball, but he talked about how, the pitches are different. The pitchers are stronger or faster. Like it is a different brand of baseball than what you get in Japan. So
for sure,
he's learning the whole game. And he did that for a full year. If he can have an even better second year, you definitely take that, even if he's not at Ronald Acuna Jr.'s level.
Yeah.
Even close. Like MLB.com ranked their top 10 right fielders. Again, Seiya's not on the list. Number 1, Aaron Judge, because he had a WAR of almost 12 last year. Then Mookie Betts, Bryce Harper. That's probably everybody's top 3. And 3 of the best players in baseball. No question. Then Kyle Tucker, Ronald Acuna, George Springer, Starling Marte, Teoscar Hernandez, Fernando Tatis Jr. they think will be moved to right field by the Bogart signing. And then Hunter Renfroe is who they had at number 10. I look at that list and say there is potential for Seiya to really improve the Cubs with a better season this year. Yeah. So I love that. At the same time, I also look at that list and go, Judge, Betts, Harper, Tucker, Acuna, Springer, Tatis. Man, right field is a deep position in the major league. Just like shortstop is, some of the best players in baseball are in right field. So the Cubs may not have that, but if Seiya could meet them somewhere in between.
Well, I'll say this much. In terms of WAR, which, a lot of you nerds like to use that as the deciding point on who's good and who's not. Bryce Harper, 2.4 WAR last year. I'm assuming if this is from MLB, they're probably using FWAR. I don't know. But either way, a lot of that is because...
So maybe mine was BWAR. Where I took mine was BWAR.
Well, what I'm saying, the only reason that is a 2.4 is, one, because he got hurt. And they had to DH him all season. If the DH wasn't a thing in the NL, he wouldn't have been able to play. And he's going to start the year on the shelf this year, too. And Fernando Tatis Jr. is going to start the year on the shelf because he's still suspended. I'm pretty sure, right? Isn't he?
Cheater.
Yeah, I think the start of the year. Yeah,
I think it's like 8 games or something small. It's not a lot. I don't believe.
Starling Marte, 3.0 WAR. I mean,
he's getting old.
He's getting older. I think there's definitely. By the end of the year, I think you could see Seiya Suzuki sneak in here if he does take that next step, like we all think he can. I look at names like Kyle Tucker, though. I think Kyle Tucker can finish in the top 3 of those because he was a stud in the World Series. And he seems like someone who's going to break out for the Astros even more this year, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. And of course, Ronald Acuna is definitely primed to get back to like the player that he was coming off that injury.
I don't see a shot for Seiya to break the top 5.
No,
personally.
I see top 10 though.